To understand why some fathers lose contact with their children, you really need to understand what happens during separation, because many people will know that when a child is born and the mother's just had the baby and the couple is together, usually the father has full access to their child. They can see them whenever they want. And then after and during separation, this is where the separation and the contact begins to basically break down and rupture. So to understand it, you really need to understand why fathers don't stay in contact with their children and this issue of fatherlessness. You need to understand what happens in the relationship between the mother and the father during and after separation and divorce. I want to read you an article which is entitled, a study which is entitled Fathers' Experience of Relationship Breakdown, Including Post-Separation Abuse and Parental Alienation Behaviors. It says this: these are the results. Fathers reported significant emotional, psychological, and financial stress, with many experiencing ongoing abuse and coercive control after separation. Abuse often continued through legal processes and manipulation of child access. Parental alienation emerged as a prominent form of post-separation abuse, with fathers describing attempts by ex-partners to undermine their relationship with their children. So this is the result. Obviously, the study then goes into and breaks down exactly what happens. But you really need to understand, and I've said this about before, that in order to understand really this issue of fatherlessness, you have to understand fear and control, which is one of the things. There's 4 things that I say, but you really need to understand fear and you need to really understand control. People will do anything to keep autonomy and control. And when people are fearful, they will behave in ways that are not typically how they would normally behave. And you have to remember that, I've said this before, society rewards women for being in a mother and keeping contact of their children. And if a mother is not a mother and doesn't have access to their children, she's not considered as a mother. Her status in society goes down. It just does. Whereas a father's doesn't. So a woman is much more fearful, and most women don't even realize they're doing this. This just happens naturally. They have to have autonomy and they want to feel in control, which is why mothers are not prepared to give 50-50 custody of their children, because they want the autonomy, they want the control, and they want the power on their side. Whereas a lot more fathers are happy to have 50-50. So to understand this issue, you need to understand what happens during divorce and separation.